Hey YouTube, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. So excited to have you join me here at the roundtable again. I am joined by NPower and the amazing Sergey, and we're going to talk a little about their Tech Fundamentals program. So pull up a chair, sit down and relax. Thanks for coming by. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel again. At the roundtable, I have with us a very special guest. Sergey, give me a little bit about yourself. Tell me about who you are.
Thanks so much for that, Michael. My name is Sergey. I'm the recruitment and admissions manager for NPower New York, and I oversee the enrollment process for those who are interested in applying to our Tech Fundamentals program, which is kind of our base level career starting program for those who are interested in starting a tech career. And I pretty much promote the program and help people get on board.
Good deal. So how did you get here? I'm assuming you didn't start at NPower to begin with. How did you find your way into the IT community, and how did you find yourself specifically at NPower in the position you're at right now?
Great question. So I'm actually a graduate of the Tech Fundamentals program myself. And the way I found out about NPower was through a VA newsletter. So I'm a veteran. I did serve in the United States Marine Corps, did one tour overseas, was in an infantry MOS. And I guess kind of the short version of my story is that after I got out of the military, wasn't really sure what to do with my military skills, how to transition them into the civilian workplace. It wasn't really clear to me, especially coming from a combat arms MOS. I've ended up in those stereotypical roles that you see a lot of veterans fall into, firefighting, police work, security or emergency services. In my case, I ended up in security, ended up working at a hospital, worked my way up to become a supervisor. And it was a good job. It was a stable job. I had many roles that taught me a lot of skills, but I didn't see that career going anywhere. And it was tough. It was difficult work. And especially when the pandemic hit, I kind of just got burnt out. Believing that I had more to offer and that I could do more and can get onto a career path that offered greater opportunities for advancement, I decided to look around and just happened to see NPower being mentioned in a VA newsletter. And at first I thought, it was like, I don't know, it sounds kind of sketchy. 16 weeks of technical training, professional development, networking opportunities, all these things completely for free. I don't know. I was pretty doubtful, but I was like, look, I don't have a job. I have nothing to lose. Let me try it out.
Yeah.
So I applied for the program, was accepted into the New Jersey class because New Jersey primarily works with veterans, and loved it. I learned a lot. Once I realized it was legit and they do deliver on their promise and they teach you relevant skills, and more importantly, how to translate those skills, especially coming from a military background, I was like, wow, this is great. So I took what they applied and got myself an internship where I worked as a project coordinator for the New York Hall of Science, helping them recover from Hurricane Ida. They were devastated by Hurricane Ida. And at the same time, was so impressed by what NPower and Tech Fundamentals had provided me that I started to just share this resource amongst my fellow Marines, letting them know about it. And that promotion kind of put me in a good position to take advantage of the opportunity to work as a recruitment admissions manager for the organization. I jumped on that opportunity and used the skills they taught me to actually do really well in the interview and submit a good resume and all that. And here I am. So it's been an interesting journey that has taught me a lot, and I think offers a lot of interesting talking points for what it's like to be a veteran transitioning into the civilian workplace, not only from my direct experience, but also now having the opportunity to work with young adults and veterans making that transition and using this resource of the Tech Fundamentals program as their kind of starting point to start a new career in an industry that offers a lot of opportunity.
Got it. Now, one of the things you mentioned, and I love this about our conversations we've had in the past as well, is you're coming from a prior military background, really sure of what you wanted to do. And I'll tell you, a lot of my audience is in that same mindset. They don't really know what they want to do when they transition. Now, one question before I dive too far into that is NPower just for service members, or is it open for anyone?
Great question. So we do have some criteria. Primarily, we focus on serving young adults from underserved communities and military veterans and veteran spouses. So for the young adults, you have to be 18 to 26 years old, and you have to have at least a high school diploma. and be legally permitted to work in the United States. So those are our kind of 3 hard criteria. For veterans, you can be 21 years or older, and you just need to have an honorable discharge. And if you're a spouse of a veteran with an honorable discharge, you're eligible for this program as well. Now, when we talk about veterans, we're also talking a little bit about a more inclusive category that reservists, National Guard members are also eligible for this program. So it's more of a military affiliate. If you've served honorably or are currently serving in a part-time capacity or are transitioning out of the military, or where in a month's time you'll be finishing up your contract, then you're eligible to apply to this program. And we also recently partnered with SkillBridge and are growing that partnership to provide this opportunity for more transition veterans. But those are the audiences we serve.
Okay. Actually, you kind of beat me to the punch with 2 of those questions. I was going to ask about the wider berth of military services, not including the active side, but also the Guard, Reserve. And then military spouses, that's one thing I want to highlight as well is, there's not a whole lot of companies out there that support the military spouses and the community itself. And knowing that your team supports that is absolutely wonderful. It's absolutely amazing. Circle back to my original thought. It's not just for military, right? There is opportunities for people who are just leaving their current position. You're the perfect example. You were in a security type background and wanted to gain those technical skills. The training is free. And I want to share the website real quick, just so that everyone gets an opportunity to kind of see this. And I want to highlight a couple of very, very specific things here. Okay, so we're here at the NPower website, and you can go through, you can take a look at the different locations that are available to you. Now, there are some restrictions. You're not all over the United States, but you do have a lot of the major hubs across the United States, both on the East Coast and the West Coast. So there are opportunities, and I'm sure there's a ton of stuff that's in here as well. The apply, a bunch of different items for all those military service members that are out there. They have that new SkillBridge link that's here. Make sure and take a look at it. And then you have the FAQs. So the website is www.npower.org. Make sure you get an opportunity to go over there, just kind of look through the site itself and just kind of take a look at it and see if it fits your needs. Or I'm brand new. I've never seen NPower. I don't know what it does. You say it's 16 weeks worth of technical training. Am I going to learn like how to load Windows on a machine? Am I going to learn Active Directory? Walk me through what in a rough nutshell, what does the 16 weeks entail?
Yeah, absolutely. It entails a lot. It's an intensive program. I think I should start by saying the curriculum is based on the CompTIA A+ certification exam. For those not familiar, the A+ is an industry-recognized certification that many companies and organizations see as kind of the gold standard certification to showcase tech support qualifications for tech support-related roles. And that's what we focus on. The curriculum is based on that certification because it goes over pretty much everything you need to know to be able to work in a tech support field. And we prepare you to take that certification and give you the opportunity to take the certification for free through us. So by the end of the program, you could be A+ certified. In addition to that, however, we also have you complete the Google IT support certification and project management certifications, as well as give personalized instruction, individual instruction based on our experience of teaching thousands of students over the years about what helps them succeed in the tech workplace, and all of this combined to give students comprehensive knowledge of what they need to know to be able to succeed in a tech support related role. Now, specific to your question, will you learn about hardware? Absolutely. Will you learn about software? Yes. You'll learn how to install operating systems and configure them. You'll learn the basics of network administration, how to set up a network, what makes a network work better or worse. You'll learn all the hardware components that go into computers, learn about them, how they work, as well as do simulation exercises. Well, you'll be able to create different types of machines to serve different purposes, like a computer-assisted design versus a gaming rig. So you learn all these kind of skills related to both hardware and software. They're really base, fundamental level that give you that foundation from which you can then build your career upon to pursue avenues in cybersecurity, let's say, or cloud computing. I do want to mention that we also offer advanced certification programs for those with some experience in cybersecurity and cloud computing. So if you complete the Tech Fundamentals program, you can advance your career in cybersecurity and cloud computing after you gain some experience to get those advanced certification and continue to evolve and advance your career.
So it's not just the 16-week program you offer, there's actually additional things that you can do. Now, that kind of brings up the next question that I had for you is, let's say I go through NPower. I'm done. Do I get kicked to the curb, or is there anything else that NPower offers that can further help a student or some transitioning service member, military spouse, past that 16-week period?
Absolutely. Once you graduate, you're an NPower alumni for life. As long as you're part of this organization, we continue to assist and support you throughout your career journey. We'll provide you with invitations to networking events so that you can continue building your professional network, as well as share resources that we have either for employment opportunities or just job resources, professional development resources that we have access to, such as one of the projects that you and I are working on. I'm very excited about. So there's a lot of support that we provide alumni to help them grow and advance. And it really just comes down to how involved they want to be. Some alumni, they graduate the program, they go their path and drift away from NPower, and that's totally fine. We don't require anything. We don't ask for a lot in return. There's nothing to pay back, none of that. But we do encourage alumni to stay engaged. And our alumni services are actually growing. The organization as a whole is growing and expanding, and we're trying to offer more and more. And we're working on an alumni portal that will help our current alumni connect to each other so that they have a resource where they can share job opportunities, professional development opportunities with each other. As we like to tell all the students that go through our classes is not only are you going through this together, but you're also, by the time you graduate, will be each other's professional network, because you're all going into different roles with different companies, but you all have that tie, that connection of being NPower graduates. So we always encourage them to rely on each other as a network as well, but want to connect them to the alumni at large, because as I said before, we serve thousands of young adults and veterans that have progressed to have great careers in the tech industry. And we want to try to get them connected and offer them more as they advance. But tying it back to the advanced certification programs, that's another example of how we continue to support our alumni. Those who have no prior tech experience or limited tech experience, we recommend that they start with our Tech Fundamentals program, kind of get their foot in the door, enter the workplace, enter the tech industry, get some experience under their belt, figure out where they want to take their career. Then if it falls in line with cybersecurity and cloud computing, we welcome them to apply to our advanced certification programs, which are also completely free. And then they can use those to continue to advance their career. The support continues for as long as we're around, and hopefully we'll be around for a very long time.
And the advanced certification courses that you have for the cybersecurity, the cloud computing, I know that you and I are working on a project, hint, hint for everyone watching. How long do those typically take? Is there a couple week courses? Is it an 8-week long course? Because I imagine that most of your graduates at that point will have completed the course. They were able to find employment somewhere, but I want to take advantage of this amazing advanced course that you offer. How long of a time commitment am I looking at?
I primarily recruit for the Tech Fundamentals program. So if anything I say going forward is a little bit inaccurate, I apologize and encourage everybody to please visit our website, npower.org. As you had mentioned before, that's the letter N followed by the word power.org. That has all the information you need about all of our programs and everything you need to do to apply. As I remember, the cybersecurity program is 18 weeks long and the cloud computing program is 12 weeks long. And these programs are much more project-based, meaning that they're going to have you work on things that you can then showcase to employers to show the kind of skills that you have in the area to increase your hireability. They're also scheduled and tailored around the working individuals. So they try to provide schedules that accommodate those people that have full-time jobs, which is to cater to those who have completed our program and have become employed. For the specifics, I encourage people to visit the website, but that's kind of the bulk of what those courses focus on, is giving employed individuals or those who are working that want to advance their career the opportunity to do so with project work that will not only give them the skills they need, but also allow them to show those skills to prospective employers.
It kind of brings up a really good question when it comes to the tech skills program is, you mentioned in the advanced courses, you have a project style so that they can portray their skills that they have learned either in cybersecurity or the cloud industry for them to showcase those items that they've learned throughout that course. Is there anything that's offered like that during the tech skills, or is it encouraged for students to go through and do a project on their own?
in the tech fundamentals, it's a little bit of a different focus. Our instructors do make sure to try to make the experience as interactive and engaging as possible, and also involve them in exercise. And also, while they're going to be completing the Google IT support, that certification itself has hands-on work where they learn kind of the basics of scripting and working with PowerShell and others. We have a packet tracer project that I believe the instructors give out just to kind of dip the toes into the kind of things that you'll be expected to do. The difference between tech fundamentals and the advanced certification programs, though, is tech fundamentals is about giving you that foundational knowledge, that broad knowledge, and the certifications to show that you have that knowledge so that you can get started. It's more about that foot in the door. It's more about being able to get that first opportunity that will give you the skills, the real practical skills that you need to be able to advance your career. That program is really much about just, hey, don't have much experience in tech, or maybe I do have experience in tech, but I haven't been able to really showcase it in a way that has gotten me that first career starting role. And Tech Fundamentals is there to help you get that career starting role. So we met much more focus on getting you certified, giving you the knowledge, and also teaching you how to communicate that knowledge, communicate your skill set to employers so that you can get hired. Because it's not, and I think you would agree, when it comes to especially entry-level tech support roles, there's not as much of a need on kind of project focus displays. Hey, can you do the job?
Absolutely. And, we always joke in the IT industry and the cybersecurity industry that entry level requires like 6 years experience, every certification under the sun. And all you're doing is, opening up tickets in Jira.
Right.
But that's good. That's great to know, especially for those that are trying to break into the IT field. Someone who, and, Kevin Oppenari, I'm going to, throw his name out there. He's one of the greats that, his story is so inspiring. Coming from a restaurant style background, now works as a cybersecurity specialist for a company. And that's absolutely amazing. And he preaches it all the time. The basics will get you there. The basics. So having a program like NPower and how they support new people in the IT industry. And that's kind of what our channel is about here at the Roundtable, is really trying to empower people to make that leap of faith. They have that ability in them. And there's services like you that exist that want to support that IT and cybersecurity community.
And I got to give a shout out to Kevin as well, who actually connected us. Great guy, doesn't make me work. If all of you don't know about his YouTube channel, KevTech, check it out. He'll tell you everything you need to know about how to get started in the industry. And, one of the things that was a beautiful collaboration between Kevin and I is we kind of, NPower as an organization kind of has the same mission that he does on his own through his YouTube channel, which is just to empower individuals to be able to enter this career field, enter this industry, to not feel like it's beyond them or not available to them, or to not feel like the only way they can do it is to kind of go the traditional college route, which there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes not everybody can afford it. Not everybody has the time to be able to commit to go through that process. And, especially depending on where you're situated and what college you go to and what program it is, a lot of times you might finish that program and get the same kind of opportunities that we offer our graduates through the Tech Fundamentals program. I do want to mention there's a lot of talk about post-secondary alternatives when it comes to college nowadays. I don't like that term when I apply to NPower, because we actually, we support our students to continue their education, do whatever you need to advance your career. And we emphasize that you always have to be learning. You always have to gain skills. I think Kevin would agree. You would agree. You never stop learning, especially in the tech industry. It's always changing. You always have to gain skills. So we encourage students to finish their education, complete their education. But as I mentioned, sometimes it's hard. It's expensive. It takes a while. And a lot of times you don't know what kind of employment you're going to have at the end of that very long journey, very long commitment. So NPower exists as that kind of bridge that connects you to those opportunities faster without cost, so that you can actually get started. You can have that security of having a job, having an income, and now with that stability and security, be able to continue your education or advance your knowledge and understanding to help you improve your career.
And I 100% agree. One thing that you mentioned I want to highlight right there is college route may not always be the best for everyone, right? They may not be able to afford it. And that free service, and I can't shout that from the roofs loud enough. That free service, if you qualify, is absolutely amazing. And it teaches you the critical skills. And they support you after you're done. Like, there's very few organizations that go that extra mile for the other stuff, like the resume reviews, interview prep, making sure to connect you with industry leaders in the IT and cybersecurity world to get you that first industry job. I can't speak highly enough about your team and what you're doing. It's pretty amazing. The first time I ever heard about NPower, I was exactly like you, I'm not going to lie. I looked at it and I was like, there is no way possible that this is a 16-week course.
It's a scam.
It's a scam. There's no way they're going to pay for that and get me the ability to earn my A+ certification out of it. There's no way. There's boot camps that cost $6,000 just for what you're offering right now. And you're going to give it to me for free. And after having conversations with you, after Kevin introduced us, it was absolutely amazing to see that this is legit, 100%. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I want to touch upon a few quick things. So first, I can completely understand the skepticism. And I got to say, being a recruitment admissions manager that promotes a free program, I kind of went into this role being like, this is going to be easy. It's free. Of course, people are going to jump on this, but it's actually the opposite. It's like, you really got to convince people. It's like, no, we're real. Like, this is a real thing. We do offer this.
Yeah.
And the best way I found to kind of explain that is just to explain how we're able to do it. And it's a very simple formula. NPower strives on establishing win-win partnerships. And what those win-win partnerships look like is many companies and organizations are struggling to fill the demand for qualified tech professionals that they need to support the many systems that they have that are running their digital transactions and operations. I think a lot of us forget that, behind every app, behind every website, there are servers, and there's a lot of hardware operating 24/7 to make that accessibility and interaction possible. And there needs to be an army of equally qualified and available tech professionals supporting that hardware, make sure that hardware is operational and maintained. And that's where that demand comes in. And as organizations grow and as companies implement more digital technologies, that demand continues to grow, which is why this is a field that offers a lot of opportunity. But a lot of these companies and organizations struggle to fill that demand, and they struggle to fill that with the conventional college route. They also want to increase diversity in these fields because diversity leads to innovation, and that's a very key factor in businesses developing and growing and staying competitive, especially in the tech industry. NPower comes in to save the day. We provide them cool, diverse, qualified tech professionals that are ready to work, that are eager to get into the industry. These companies and organizations hire from us, see the good work that we do, and provide us with the funding and support we need to offer this program for free. And then in addition to funding, fundraisers, and donations, we get all the funds that we need to be able to offer this program to young adults and veterans completely for free, no cost, nothing to pay back. All that we ask is for time, commitment, and the desire to really excel.
That's absolutely beautiful too. And knowing there's ways for that win-win to happen across the board, that's even better. A couple last questions just to wrap things up here. If I wanted to get on NPower and I wanted to help donate, or let's say I'm a sponsor right now, I'm watching this video and I'm like, man, you know what? I didn't know NPower existed. I want to help support them. How would I do it?
Great question. I always encourage everybody to check out our website. A lot of work goes into that website. We try to keep it as up to date as possible, and it has contact information for whoever you'd like to reach out. But if you want that personal touch, feel free to email me. If I can't answer or provide the information that's needed, I will be sure to connect you with somebody that can. Feel free to email me. I'll be sure to connect you to whoever can help you with supporting the program. That support, it means a lot. It means that you're creating a future for someone else. So I highly encourage anybody who has the ability to support us to do so.
Absolutely. And then final question, is there anything you want to tell the audience today before we head out? One last thing that you would encourage people to really kind of look at NPower instead of looking somewhere else? Or is there any type of resource that you would include with NPower? Any partners that you want to talk about?
Well, of course, very much so would highlight the wonderful work that you do and the services that you provide and the skills that you share, especially when it comes to LinkedIn. I mean, your LinkedIn page is amazing. I got to step up my LinkedIn game after meeting you. I was like, oh man. So hopefully we can make some time where you can show me the tips and tricks for how to make such a stellar LinkedIn page.
Absolutely.
Of course, Kevin at KevTech, man, what wonderful content he puts out, just keeping it real, telling you exactly what you need to know and what you need to be prepared for to succeed in the tech industry. So those two, you and Kevin, I mean, you're invaluable. We commend and applaud the wonderful things that you do. And when it comes to NPower, what I'd say is, what do you have to lose? Free. Go to the website, submit an application. We do have an interview process. During that interview process, we'll kind of determine if this is a good fit for you. Don't be afraid. We'll be able to answer any questions that you have. And to kind of end on that note, as a reminder of what our criteria are for young adults, 18 to 26, high school diploma or its equivalent, and have to be legally permitted to work in the United States. For veterans or reservists or Guard members, 21 or older, honorable discharge, or be an active reservist or Guard member, and military spouses are eligible as well. And then beyond that, when we do the interview process, all we're looking for is, do you have an interest in the tech industry? Are you ready to apply yourself for 16 weeks? Because it is an intense program. Let's make no illusions about that. You're going to be studying your butt off, right?
That's a 4-month commitment.
4-month commitment, but those 4 months go like this.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, you don't have a check that you have to pay, right? You don't have a bill, but you will have certifications and a boatload of knowledge and a team supporting you in getting you your first tech support job. So in short, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain in checking us out and submitting an application on our website. I strongly encourage everybody to do so who's interested in starting a tech career.
That's awesome, man. Well, hey, thank you so much for joining me today at the roundtable. I really appreciate it. I know my audience really appreciates just having this information on hand and knowing that it's a legitimate free resource that's available to them. Truly, thank you so much. And, maybe I'll help out some of your graduates and do a LinkedIn course for you guys over there.
Oh, I see great things for us. I'm excited for it. And Michael, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity and for highlighting our program. We really appreciate it. And we look forward to partnering with you on bigger and better things.
Outstanding. All right, everyone, thanks for joining me here at the roundtable with NPower and the amazing Sergey. Thank you so much. Have an amazing, wonderful day, and I'll catch you in the next one.